Welcome to the den, everyone. Today I'm going to be ranking my quarterbacks for the 2021 season 1 through 32. So let's get this started. So, in my opinion, the best quarterback in the National Football League is Patrick Mahomes. And I don't really know if I need to explain this one. His stats are crazy. He nearly kept the Chiefs single-handedly in that Super Bowl, and honestly probably would have done it had his receivers not dropped the football in his own line, got him destroyed. Next, my second best quarterback is Josh Allen, the man, the myth, the legend. The man had himself incredible stats, was keeping up with Rodgers and Mahomes for most of the season, and even had himself a good amount of rushing yards as well to keep up with those guys. He's definitely proving himself to develop more, and I think he'll continue to develop even more and be even better than last year. At number 3, I have Aaron Rodgers. I don't know if he's going to play, and so it's kind of hard if I should count him in this list, but I think he's planning on playing, unlike Watson, who I'm not counting in this list, because Watson isn't planning on playing at all for the Texans, and doesn't sound like he's going to ever leave. Rodgers has more of a chance. So for now, I'm putting Rodgers in here, but I guess you can kind of make your assumptions on if Rodgers is not here. But Rodgers himself played an MVP level at, I believe, 37 years old, and played fantastic last year, and even got the MVP award. He definitely deserved the award, and should be very happy with himself. At number 4, I have Russell Wilson. His fantastic play of single-handedly carrying the Seattle Seahawks for most of his career is an example of just how good this guy is. Hopefully, with another developmental year of DK Metcalf, we could see a rise in Wilson's stats. Who knows, maybe even a healthy Chris Carson. At number 5, I have Tom Brady. His stats last season were fantastic for a guy of his age. I don't care the amount of talent you have. He played really well for his age, and no quarterback should be able to play as well. The fact the guy still has an arm absolutely baffles me. He still continues to win games and play well. At number 6, I have Ryan Tannehill, who I think is the most underrated quarterback in the NFL. The guy has stats similar to Mahomes the last 2 years, and he didn't start every single game. Tannehill has proven himself to be a good quarterback, and I will honestly debate you on it. Even when Henry has been gone and he's been asked to throw, he's won games. It just continuously impresses me, and he's one of the better passers in football. At number 7, I have Matthew Stafford. Stafford, I think, will have a great season with Sean McVay. While I'm not a huge Sean McVay person anymore, I still think he can do well. He succeeded with bad lines before, or at least given them some good years, and he's got himself some really good weapons. Robert Woods, Cooper Kupp, even a solid deep threats into Deshaun Jackson, and of course Tutu Atwell can even be maybe a good deep threat option, and Tyler Higbee. So I think his stats will continue to prove himself well. He's in a much better organization. Sean McVay, in my opinion, is definitely a much better coach than Matt Patricia, or even Jim Caldwell for that matter, and I think he will have one of his best seasons. At number 8, I have Lamar Jackson. We all make jokes that he's a running back, but he's got himself some pretty good passing games. He did lead the league in passing touchdowns. Yes, they were in the red zone. A lot of them were in the red zone, but he still had some pretty fantastic plays, such as his Miami game. At number 9, I have Justin Herbert, who I honestly need to consider putting over Jackson, but I'm not going to give the guy who had a rookie season. I'm going to wait before I make Herbert that much better, but his stats he had 32nd ranked O-line and a lot of injuries to a team, and not even having that good of a run game is pretty dang fantastic. He was a big reason why LA was actually even competing in games and scoring so many points. At number 10, I have Derek Carr. He had as good of deep stats as Patrick Mahomes and had a really good touchdown pick ratio. I having far less talent. Henry Ruggs and Nelson Aguilar being his main guys, and that not named Darren Waller at receiver is very impressive to me. At number 11, I have Dak Prescott. I actually really considered putting him over Derek Carr, but due to the fact that Carr has done extremely well with less, makes me put him ahead of Carr. Put Carr ahead of Dak. Dak was on pace for 6,000 yards last year. Now his touchdown count wasn't supposed to be as high as his yardage count, obviously, but still, nonetheless, Dak would have had elite stats last year, and we'll see if he recovers well from his injury and I think he's showing that he's an elite quarterback. At number 12, I have Kirk Cousins, who continues to put up some good numbers. Despite some bad O-line play, he's continuously shown that he can throw a football. He's had 4,000 yards almost every single year in Minnesota and had a good touchdown pick ratio. Yes, he chokes in some of the big games, but he's still definitely a pretty good solid quarterback that can win you games. At number 13, I have Baker Mayfield, who led the Browns to the playoffs the first time in forever and even got themselves a playoff win. Baker Mayfield also had himself a good touchdown pick ratio and definitely deserves all the love in the world. He got way better last year and he should continue to develop to be even better under head coach Kevin Stefanski. At number 14, I have Kyler Murray, who showed lots of promise of his athletic ability, and he should only get better with the addition of A.J. Green and another year under his belt with DeAndre Hopkins to develop more chemistry between the two, along with even the new addition of draft slot receiver Rondale Moore, who can only continue to help Kyler's deep ball game. At number 15, I have Matt Ryan. Ryan continues to have good stats despite his age and despite having a dysfunctional organization. He's honestly almost on Stafford's level, except he doesn't exactly had a 5,000-yard season yet, and I definitely think he's a lot less. He's not as well. He's not the Super Bowl season Ryan that we all used to love. At number 16, I have Jared Goff. You all know why I think Goff will be successful. I really don't know how much I can explain this, but I think he will succeed with a good O-line and good run game, and I think he has the threats to be good enough to make the top 16. At number 17, I have Joe Burrow. Joe Burrow has showed potential, and I think he will have slightly better O-line play, and his connection with Jamar Chase is already there, and he's going to have a couple, and now he can also get connections with T. Higgins and Tyler Boyd, and even Joe Mixon. I think it should lead to some better statistical success than last year. And he also had games where I just think he really looked amazing on tape, and I think he can only improve. At number 18, I have Trevor Lawrence. I'm not big on giving rookies anywhere in the top 20 most of the time, but T-Law is the top-rated quarterback prospect since Peyton Manning, apparently. And he honestly has some good tape to show for it. He was a successful quarterback at Clemson and deserves to be up on this list. At number 19, I have Big Ben. Yes, he has regressed in some regards, but I still think he's definitely a top 19 quarterback. He's won games, and he's definitely better than his backups, and I don't know if he's exactly a beast anymore, but he definitely deserves to be up on this list. At number 20, I have Zach Wilson. I'm a huge fan of Zach Wilson. The man has some good footwork and a great arm, and I think is honestly pretty good on the throw and the run. He has some kinks that he'll need to work out, but I think he'll be fixed out under Robert Saleh's regime, and I think he'll only get better. I honestly love this guy's tape. I think he'll only continue to get better. At number 21, Carson Wentz. I think he'll get better under the Colts O-line, but for now, I'm not 100% sold on Wentz after statistics have dropped, and even Jalen Hurts somewhat outshining him. But I do think he will improve, but I don't know if I'm quite going to give him the edge over these guys quite yet. I'm going to need to see more over him. I did consider giving him higher on the list, maybe Big Ben's spot, but I don't know. Last year was pretty bad. At number 22, I've given Jimmy Garoppolo the spot. A Super Bowl winning quarterback, and he's gotten himself some pretty good stats and had a great win-loss record. He should be more respected than he is, but he definitely doesn't have the talent that a lot of these guys up here do. At number 23, I have Ryan Fitzpatrick, or Fitzmagic. He's shown some pretty good play. He had a great year for Miami. He makes the players around him better that season. He's a true leader. I did consider maybe putting in his quarterback competition for now. I'm going to put the vet in the leadership spot. And he has some good years. And when he's hot, he's honestly a top 10 quarterback when he's actually playing well. But of course, we all know Fitzmagic also has the Fitz curse. So at number 24, I have Taysom Hill. This is going to surprise a lot of people, but I actually really like Taysom Hill. I think if you cut down the fumbles, he would have had a fantastic season. And I think that's something that can be easily fixed, and I think he'll only get better. He's going to have this year actually practicing as a quarterback and not as a gadget player. He's actually going to be competing for a starting spot, so he has the extra motivation to be out there getting better at quarterback. I think Taysom Hill is even going to win the job over Jameis Winston. At number 25, I have Tyrod Taylor. Taylor has struggled to win or even be good since his time in Buffalo. He was bad in Cleveland, and he didn't. In his one game in LA was not that impressive. I'm not going to really give Taylor that much benefit of the doubt, although he will be going to a group that actually is going to give him a real chance to start at the selection of Davis Mills, being his only competition. At number 26, I have Sam Darnold, who showed some good potential, and I think will do a little bit better in Carolina. But I'm going to need to see more from him. I was not very impressed by his time in New York, like some of their people were, just Colin Cowherd. But I think he can definitely be good. I like some of his college shape, and he was supposed to be a first overall pick to many for a reason. At number 27, I have Jalen Hurts. Hurts showed some potential, but his completion percentage scares me off. He had some games I just did not think that he'd look that good in, and I'm worried that he's someone who will be figured out. I'm going to need to see more from him before I make him into an actual starter. At number 28, I have Cam Newton. Everyone loves Cam Newton, but he struggled last year more than just about any quarterback put in this list. But I'm kind of paying some homage to him. He's been a good quarterback before, and I think he's a solid bet. At number 29, I have Andy Dalton. Dalton is a vet, and he deserves to be over the guys I'm going to have up here, almost for that reason, because he's had some good years. And who knows, maybe it was Mike McCarthy that was holding him back in Dallas. At number 30, I have Daniel Jones. Daniel has shown potential, and I think he can save it next season. But for now, he's arguably the worst quarterback in football. He had some statistical increases, but he also had some statistical downgrades this past season. He's going to need to show more if he's going to be the New York Giants' future quarterback this year. He should have improved weapons with Kenny Galladay, Sterling Shepard, Evan Ingram, and healthy Saquon Barkley. And even that, he also still has his guy in Darius Slayton. At number 31, I have Tua Tagovailoa. I'm only going to read his first name. Tua disappointed me last year. I was actually one of the advocates that said Tua should have still been the first overall pick over Burrow for a long time before I actually saw that playoff run that Burrow had. But Tua just choked last year. He didn't have a good touchdown pick ratio. He didn't reach 7 yards per throw. He had the great Arizona game, but other than that, he didn't really succeed. Fitzpatrick completely outshined him, and I don't think that's a good sign that your quarterback is the future. At number 32, I have Drew Lock. Lock has throws that I don't think the top 10 and below guys can make. But he just struggles to consistently get things together. The thing that frustrates me about Lock is there are no excuses other than coaching change. He had the receivers, Jerry Jeudy, Courtland Sutton, KJ Hamler, Noah Fant, Melvin Gordon. He even had Philip Lindsay. He had a good old line with a great old line coach like Mike Munchak. He even had himself a supposed quarterback guru in Pat Shurmur. So Drew Lock, in my opinion, really had no excuses last year, and he needs to get it consistently going, or he's going to be out of a job very quick. These are my quarterback rankings. What would you change? What surprised you? What do you disagree with? Why would you disagree? Where would you put your quarterback rankings? See you guys later. And remember, we have at 4 p.m. At 4 p.m. Central Time. There's going to be a roundtable such as Talking Football with Rams House and John Kapler. So stay tuned for that on Wednesday.